Hello, welcome to Woodline Tracking. It's a nice day here in Ohio, nice fall day. I am going to finish my series on my DSA SA58 FOW. This is part 2. This is more of a tabletop review of what is the gun, the specs of the gun, the magazines, my experience with the gun, and some modifications I've done to it. And why I feel that it is a good bush gun for paramilitary combat tracking or Patriots needs. Let's get started. All right, let's get into it. This is my DSA SA58. It's a paratype, and by paratype I mean it has a folding stock on it, where the other ones is a fixed stock. And with my experience in shooting this and shooting the other type, this has a lot less recoil in it. It's amazing. If you shoot them side by side, there's a lot less recoil in them. The difference is the other one has a rat tail that goes back into a spring back here that takes the recoil. This one has a spring up here that takes all the recoil, and it seems to take a lot more recoil out of the gun than having the rat tail. I don't know why, but there is a big difference. You will notice the difference in shooting on it. This one the pail has a lot less recoil. On this, I gave it a paint job, a Cerakote job, because the gun's got to be camouflaged. It's a black gun. It's very easy to see out in the woods, so you need to paint your gun up. On this, it has the Austrian metal hand grips. They do heat up. They heat up quite fast over the poly of the wood, but it was easy to paint and it works well. Just wear gloves. You should be wearing gloves anyways if you're out there, because your hands will give you, white hands will give you away, so you need to camouflage them up, so you should be wearing gloves. I put some rails on this for my IR illuminator and laser for nighttime operations. I'll put I got a video coming back out with you guys for night vision in the future. I need to finish up. On this gun, I got a Triscon Egg Hog 3.5 308 with a horseshoe reticle red dot scope on it. It is a great scope. It is meant for 308 ballistics. It works quite well. I would recommend this. It is great. It works well. It's one of the best optics I have. I also took this and doing a lot of nighttime stuff. I needed a way to put backup night sights on it. But no one manufactures them. So I took and bought a DSA sight back here. Took this off right here, the eyepiece off back here, and put on a one that had tritium in it so you can see it at night. I also took the front and took it off and manufactured my own tritium sight for the front, as you hopefully can see. I just took a tritium sight, grind off the front of the sight on the standard FAL sight, and then tapped and dyed it and screwed that down in and worked beautifully so you can see it at night. I have a Vickers Tactical Stream. Love it. Works great. Highly recommend that. I also upgraded the mag release to this DSA mag release, where I can just take my finger and push it when I'm doing my mag change and then knock it out and put the mag in. I'll do a video on that in the future for that. Another modification I made was the thumb safety on these little ones are tough to do fast with your thumb, so I bought the DSA one. Problem I had is when I went left-handed, I was not getting it into safe with my left hand. So I had to knock off about 1/4 inch of it, so when I go to left hand, it won't kick it into safe. And I wish DSA would make a modification to this, because you have to be able to go your left hand to shoot around barricades and shoot around cover. I mean, to go right-handed around that, you just expose your body way too much. So you need to practice with your left hand, be efficient with your left hand, and in order to do that, you have to have the safety work. So I had to modify that to get it to work that way. So I wish DSA will address that. Other than that, that's about it. It's a very fun gun to shoot. It don't have much recoil with this pair type of buffer system in it. It does quite well. I haven't had no major problems with it. It had to go back to DSA one time for an issue of the gun was shooting one or two. When you shoot it, sometimes you shoot two shots because it wasn't catching down back into here. It wasn't going all the way back, and I've tried messing with it, and DSA fixed it, stepped up, fixed it with no cost to me, and did a great job on it. With it. Another thing is ammo. It shoots about all types of brass well, never had a problem. But with Tula and Roof and the other stuff, I had issues with it shooting. It shoots silver barrel, great. I've never had a problem with silver barrel. It shot great, especially its 145 4-mag jacket bullet. It shot great. So basically, I would not recommend you buying Tula or the other stuff. If you want to go cheap, just buy the silver barrel. It shoots good, or just shoot regular brass out of it. Alright, let's talk about some magazines and experience, good and bad, types and all that for the DSA SA58. Basically, the DSA uses a metric pattern of magazine. Metric, I mean it looks like this, where you have the inch pattern is the other type. The metric were not a step inch pattern magazines, but an inch pattern magazines were a step metric types of magazines. So keep that in mind, but basically DSA uses the metric. I recommend the DSA metric magazines over all other ones. They work well. I haven't had any major problems out of them. This is a 20 and this is a 30. The 30 I do load up. I do use the thumbnail method where I only load it up, where I can only push down with my thumb. So far it's about 28 rounds. It does work better on this. The 20s, I tend to load them up all the way and haven't had much problem out of loading 20 into them. Another type of magazine that I found works is some of these military ones you buy used for $10, $15, $20. They're all meta, different countries make them. They work well. I don't see no markings on them, but I haven't had no problems out of these either. It's just the tops looks a little different than the DSA. I do not recommend the red and white and blue ones that is made by them. As a manufacturer, you can find somewhere the cheap metal ones. They do not work well. They do not fit the gun well. They break. They are junk. I do not recommend even wasting my money on the red, white, and blue metal magazines. They're junk. If you can even get them in the gun. Poly magazines. There's two different types here I've had. These are the ones you buy like from Cheaper and Dort. They're pretty economical. Don't buy them. They're junk. They work horrible in this gun. They want to spread out like this. They don't work well. This is what DSA's poly mags look like. I've shot them some. I need to shoot them some more, but the other day I was doing a night shoot and I had two malfunctions with this mag right here in my DSA, and then I had to clear it. So the word isn't out, but I'm not really totally impressed with it, but I wouldn't say it's junk yet. I'll keep you guys posted, but as of right now, go with the meta mags from DSA or other used military meta mags. They work great. Alright, conclusions. This gun, in my opinion, is a great paramilitary combat tracking Patriot bush gun. It hits hard, It does weigh a little bit. This weighs a little over 10 pounds and people complain about that. Walk out. I've carried this gun for multiple days before out in the bush, and you just have to be in shape to carry it. Guys have carried it through wars before for multiple days and just had to do it. So I wouldn't let the weight get to you of this. Just basically walk out and be tougher, simply put. But it is a great gun if you're considering that. As for 308 battle rifle, I've thought about all of them that are out there, and by far the FAL is my favorite out of all of them out there. And I'm not saying there isn't some other good ones out there, like the G3 is a good gun, and they all have the good and bad, but my preference is this DSA SA58 FAL. It's a hard hitter. It's a great gun for out in the bush in the roads I've been talking about. I mean, they have edit features on this, but there's edit videos out there going in there about the gas settings, how to take it apart, field stripped it. You know, I don't know, I'm not to bore you guys with that. The video is long enough. I was just trying to talk about some of my experiences with this gun. So I would consider it. It's a good gun, especially if DSA addresses a couple of the issues that, like the safety that I brought up. I think it'll make you a good gun. Remember, time may go on, but your life may not. Enjoy.